Morning! So I wanted to talk about common ailments that autistics suffer from, have, like once again, it's not everyone, but I have noticed a bit of a pattern that when I had my problems, I didn't realise they were associated. So I just thought it was just another thing that wasn't working with my body. So what is quite common is digestive issues. So I think with if you're somebody who suffers, very often on autistics, if you suffer from high anxiety, it's going to affect how you digest food and how you eat food, as it just can slow things down, so you probably end up with constipation quite a bit, and upset stomachs. Because if you think about it, if you're in quite a lot of situations which are creating your anxiety to go high, it will come down to affecting your stomach. So I have actually started to just sort of manage mine now. So I'm much better than I was. I've started to, for me anyway, what's worked is if I obviously reduce my anxiety as much as I can, which I have, and I eat small regular meals, because too much food at once, my system just doesn't like it. So I eat quite about 5 small meals. So that's what's worked for me. And the problem with constipation, I mostly know that side of it, not the other side. And it's going to probably have different effects on different people. So you might have the other one, which is loose emotions, depending on you. And the problem with that is it's just another layer to some difficulties. I know from my experience that it makes me tired, lethargic, irritable, uncomfortable, and it can really, because I can feel my body quite well, I can feel it, I can feel the pressure of it, I can feel like that. So this is why it's something, it is quite common. With a high anxiety, it's going to create that, and there's many other conditions that autistics will have, and I think probably boils down to anxiety. Could be because sleeping is another issue. Sleeping at night, you'll find that's quite common that autistics can't sleep. But if you think about the fact that if your anxiety is high during the day, you're going to build up that fight and flight hormone, and then sleeping, you're going to be buzzing. So your brain won't be able to rest or relax because you're ready for action. That's what, anxiety and that sort of thing does to us. So you'll have digestive issues, sleeping problems, quite often joint issues. You might injure yourself more because if your body's tense all the time, not all the time, but tense quite a bit, then you're going to end up with, muscle problems. And because of that persistent kind of fight or flight hormone in your body, it's going to put a strain on certain parts of your body, isn't it? Quite common for people to have, sort of palpitations. And I'm not saying these are all the answer, because you might have something else, but you will find those happen. And angina type things, heart disease. So this is why it's kind of quite important to, wherever possible, if it's possible, reduce anxiety. And maybe what I ended up doing, I reduced my anxiety, and then I reintroduced some things in sort of more of a controlled manner. I used to get very stressed with dishes. They caused me a lot, and I couldn't understand why. But every little thing, because my anxiety was high, created anxiety. Oh, So it's if it's possible to do those things, but if it's not, and that's the way things are for you, then just to be aware that those medical conditions are quite common for autistics to have those. So they're not often sometimes they're not separate things. It is because of you have those things, and skin issues, because if you think about the fact that your body's it comes out in different people, doesn't it, in different ways, stress. So you might have like skin issues where you're scratching, and there's probably more. I'm trying to think what the other issues are, but or headaches. But it doesn't mean to say there's not a separate condition. I'm just not saying that, but I say it can be associated with that, because the stress will come out in that way. Yeah. So I mean, there are some things you can do to kind of solve some things or help. And what works for that person won't work for someone else. So what I would suggest for sleeping, maybe mood lighting, um, relaxing music, or like someone I know who likes thrash. That helps them. That relaxes them. Thrash music, or white noise in the background because they don't like it totally silent. Um, things to help with sleeping. So blackout blinds, maybe weighted blanket might help. Trying to decrease anxiety in the evenings. So maybe like I do, after work, and I'll sit down and just chill out for like a few hours, and then I'm ready for bed. Some nights I can't sleep because I'm partly ADHD, so my brain's whirring anyway. But I am much better at sleeping these days after I've put in some of these measures for myself, because they are important. This is my life, so if this fits for me, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. If that fits for me, then that's what I'm going to do to make my life better. What other ailments are there? I know there are more, but for now I just thought I'd do those. Okay, bye.